an example. This thing, even I don't have an idea because I never worked on it.
So
And I have not seen.
They are taking development point of view. The DevOps team will actually use, okay, these are public repos, these are private repos. How do I build the entire Diksha using both of these things?
Just one last question on cloud, client cloud services.
Client cloud service. Santosh Gandham. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so this this client cloud services, is it somehow related to cloud storage SDK that is written in Scala, I think?
No, that is backend cloud
Backend
SDK.
way of doing.
This is for front end. Okay. There are two different. Okay. They are two different.
That is the backend implementation of this.
Backend is Java driven, which is written in Scala. It is totally independent of JS. We cannot add both together. Okay. So there are two different.
That is the backend implementation of this.
Yes. Not only this, it may not be same because they may not need a file read and all those things. They may need to file put, not get again. I don't know. I'm not saying I know entirely. I'm just saying that it may be.
Yeah. So this is a JavaScript SDK, what we call. Okay. All the JavaScript applications can use this SDK. Means Portal, Co-Create, and all using this SDK, which is a JavaScript related things. There is one more SDK, Java SDK, which is a lot of our microservices, which is written in Java. They are using that Java SDK. Okay. There are two SDKs, the cloud agnostic SDKs. Okay. So that's what the contributions coming to those SDKs. The OCI is contributing to those SDKs to make it cloud agnostic.
You want to just give him 10 minutes just to explain how?
Yeah, that will be better.
See, I think there are a lot of questions. There's a Sunbird 5.2 release. Okay. There's OCI has done a 1.2. There's some OCI related changes that are done. Diksha-centric repositories are there. How is all of this coming alive and building Diksha?
Diksha private repos.
That's what we plan to cover on Monday.
Okay.
Is it a general session?
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Okay, so are we okay to wait till Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
No, we thought we have to move this one to the second half.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello everyone. Myself Bharath. I'm working as a senior software developer in a Tarento company. So I worked in UPSMF project Niramya, and now I am working in IGOT Karmayogi Bharath. So these two projects are based on a Sunbird where we have used. So now I am taking into another package which is known as common consumption. This package, where and all we are using this package in Sunbird Ed. So wherever you see the cards, each section, each cards are used from the common consumption, and the profile name, the profile initial card is there, right? That is also from common consumption. Profile. Yeah, profile. And here we can see this is the joyful theme of a Sunbird, and we have another theme called classic theme. So these cards, you can see variation, so much of variation in the card. This card and that card both are coming from the common consumption plugin itself. So how these are differentiated, how the change is happening, let me see that. So when we change a theme, that will check the layout service where the layout is changing drastically, and here in the layout service they are taking the attribute of a layout. The configurations are written in the appconfig.json. So where they have written for the new layout. The new layout is a joyful layout, and the classic theme doesn't have any layout name. So it will take default null. So it will load a classic theme. If a name has a new layout, then it will load a joyful theme. So how these cards are loading? So when we have this component, like we are in the explore page. So when we go to explore, so we are sending the layout configuration, which is already having the data from the layout service, which is the theme we are in exactly. So that data will be available. So based on that data, the cards will be loaded. So for that we have a demo application where you can see this is the library card. This is a version 1 card. So version 1 card we have having whatever you see in the classic theme. These are the cards, are the version 1 cards. and version 2 which one you are seeing in a joyful theme. So these changes we can make it in the code level. When we check, this is the repo of a common consumption repo. So here how to install locally, the steps are given clearly. So once we clone the common consumption repo, after that we need to just go with the dependencies, what are is there, SB styles are there. So those are the dependencies. Once we clone it, we just npm install, and after that, so this is the repo. So once I install the repo, I just need to do npm install. After that npm install command, I need to build this application and test in my local. So I will just show it how to do that. So I will run the application I will build my application in my local. So these commands will be written in the package.json script. So when I run with the npm run build, it will build the common consumption package which are under the project section. This common consumption which will be builded. After that, it will copy the assets, whatever the assets required for that common consumption, like images and all. So once this is builded, we will just open a new terminal. And once it is builded, it will be created a dist folder. So we will just go to that path and make a common consumption path and just type npm link. So now the package is created, local package is created, and it will be dumped in the user section of in the file manager, the users, under users are npm and node modules. In that folder section, it will be saved. So once the link is created, I need to consume it. So where I am consuming, so I have stopped it, so it was thrown error. So I need to kill this server.
So what he is trying to explain is, morning we had a question, right? How to do a local setup. He just cloned one of the library called as common consumption. He built it. It is an Angular application. He built it, and a dist was created. Now dist is in his local. He has to point it to a client. Let's assume a client. This is independent. This has some cards, some UI, and all those things are there. But it is not available directly in our, let's say, in portal or in mobile. We have to try to connect it, right? For that, what he did was, he did a symbolic link. It's called as a symbolic link in NPM, or you can call it as yarn link. There is an option of yarn as well as NPM. You can do a symbolic link to it. It will be in your folder structure only, in your .npm file. Okay, if you have known it properly. NPM, when you install NPM, in your system, there will be a .npm file which will be created, and all these things will be linked in there. Okay, all your, whatever you NPM install, right, all will be installed, have a copy there. Okay.
-G especially.
Yeah, NPM -G is global. So globally it will be installed there.
Okay. Your local machine always having a global repository.
We have to build it and to link it with our project. We need to run that.
You have to do a symbolic link, that is called as NPM link or yarn link. Okay.
Symbolic link, nothing but like if they do npm -G, it will install all the things into global.
Global, yeah.
When you do npm link, that local folder will go into the global, so that you can use that folder into any of the application.
Now if you see, he is doing one more line, that is called as npm link. Now he had already created a link for that particular project, whatever is was
what is
our common consumption.
Name, this is the name where we have in the package.
The name which says that, not this package, internally there
internal, the package name will be there. That package, it will be built and kept it in our npm globally. So to include in our client, so I need to type npm client and the package name, and if I click on save, it will be saved in the node modules
of your project.
From the global, it's taking into your project level now.
Okay, so my question here is, if we run, we are not linking it, before linking, we're just building this, the same consumption demo, and we, at that time, we don't have any content to show. We do have packages, the cards. So what will be the output?
Means?
Means it has the card layout.
If we want to check like what layout we need to select, like now we have joyful and classic. So I want to add my own.
Layouting is totally different. You are not, layouting is not common consumption.
So we want to just see like, how many layout.
If you want to change the layout, it's a different thing. It is not in common consumption.
Okay.
Okay.
Again.
So do we have option to select which layout?
Yes.
Like in UI, which layout, like which one is classic or like a joyful?
That is layout. Okay. The card name is different. Versions will be coming. Version 1, version 2, version 3, version 5. Till now 4 it is there, cards. So that will be like this.
So in this repo, can we run and see like which theme available in UI, and then we will select
Yes, I will
which
show.
class
He
we
will
need
show.
to
I will
use.
show.
Okay, so the thing is, one thing that I want to clarify. See, the thing is, you are mixing two things. Layout is the entire section in which your cards will be added. So, we are not changing the layouts. We are changing only the components inside it. Components can be a card, which are common consumption that we have done is cards can be one of the common consumption because it will be used in mobile, it will be used in your desktop, it will be used in your portal also. Okay, mobile means iOS as well as Android. I am taking it as common. Okay, so if it is common, layout will never be a common thing. Layout will be only for portal. It will be a different layout. Desktop, it will be a different layout.
So if I want to check how like many type of layout you have, like theme.
We have not built layout. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We have built components.
Take this
See,
example.
the thing is,
Take this example. See here. There's a card. V1, V2, V3. It doesn't know which is layout. You have a V1, old classic layout. V2, new joyful. V3, may go something else. The portal of Sunbird Egg is defining a layout. In that layout, which card to use? It's not like I can go to classic theme. I can say V3 also.
V3
right?
also.
Okay. So
I can use
if
any. This is a portal ka layout. He is defining the. He is written the code. Which card to be used in that layout.
So I want to use like how I want to check how many kind of card we have.
that is what he will show.
UI.
He'll show.
Yeah.
He'll show. He is already installing it. Once installation is completed, he can show you the
It will
code
show
wise.
in
Yeah.
here.
But layout you cannot change. In common consumption, we have never written layouts because common consumption was written to reuse the cards. Maybe not only cards. It can be cards. It can be the logo that you have and your TOCs also. It will remain the same for mobile as well as for portal, as well as desktop, which are common. Those things only we have written. Layouts are not common. It is independent of each of the
Application.
client, we can call it as. Okay, so that has never been a common. That has not been written in common.
After linking my package locally, just I'll serve it in an Angular application. You can see that the package will be added here under project, at the project and common consumption. This is not installed from the package.json. This is, I have linked it from.
This particular symbol is different over here. That arrow.
The
if
arrow.
you see, that arrow indicates it is a link. It's not a npm package which is coming from your cloud. Okay.
So once the application is run, so there are 4 versions of card. So this is the first version, and this is second version, third version, and fourth version. How this we have to, I mean, if you want to include only for one page, I need version 1 card which have minimal designs and all. In the next page, if I want the another version of card. So for that, when we are calling, you can see here in the last card I have given in the library card, I have given this card. So here so in the library card I am passing layout configuration. Okay, in this layout configuration what I will be passing is the layout version, the card version. Okay, you can see here, this is the card which is coming version 5 card. So this is version 1 card. So if I add here V1,
It changed.
no, it didn't change. So this is V2. V3 card, you can see V3 card, this is the same card, V3 card. When I change the versions, it will be changing. And this is the V4 card. This all were 4 cards were in Sunbird head. Okay. So when I was working in UPSMF, so there was a requirement. I need not to show the image. I need only plain card. So this is the UPSMF project. So they needed the cards like this. Okay. This is the 5th version card I have made, but I have not contributed it back. So when I needed that requirement, so I just forked the common consumption, and I have just made the changes. I have made as a library V5 card.
I think in the demo also you will not see V5 because we never know. He did it for UPSMF.
I have
which is a different contributor altogether, adopter altogether, not at all contributor, adopter altogether, because Sunbird doesn't know that at all. Yeah, correct. And if he doesn't contribute it back, we will never know it is there. In our demo also it is not there
actually. For merging the code and all, it will take time. For me, it has to go to the clients to be visible. So I have published it myself and I have given. So once it is merged, we will take this and give it back. So under the cards, library cards, you can see 5th card we have created. So once that is created, I have named my package to UPHRH common consumption. This is my package which is created by me, and we have published it and we are using that for UPHRH.
So you publish it on your local, not the center.
No, it is in NPM. See, please just check it out.
It is NPM. NPM publish I have made. This is under UPHRH credentials, their credentials. I have published there and they are using it. So whatever the changes, if we are not contributing, immediately need the changes, then we can make it and we can use it. Afterward, we can contribute back those changes.
So if you want to create one new card for our own application,
Yeah.
so just need to create one more component for V6 version 6
Yes.
or 7.
Create it on your local first.
Or if we want to change like we have like V1, V2. So we want to change version 1.
If you change it, you cannot contribute it
back.
Because if you change it, it will be for your use case. Sunbird may not be having the same use case as yours. If you change something which is already available for us, just like how can I give you an example?
Initially, I was also in the same idea. So see, you can see the classic card and UPSMF card. Both are same, only image is not there and some content is not there. So I have removed everything. I have used the same thing only, V1 card only I have used, and I have removed everything and I have given back. Then I got knowledge to contribute. Okay, this is a different card, right? You contribute it, so then you will get, it will go to others also, they can also use it. If you make the changes, then I won't get. See, I can show the example. This version which is created from the Sunbird consumption version 4.12.1. Now Sunbird consumption is at 6. I didn't get latest version, so I am back. So that's why I just I have put for the emergency case. So once it is done and fixed everything, I will just raise a PR and I will merge with them and I will get the latest pool with them. So like that I have used for your clarification.
Better to create like a new card and continue.
Yes,
to-
because the thing is, somebody else may have already used it. If you change something in V1, I will not merge it because other than you, let's assume he would have used it. As an adopter of Diksha, you are using V1, you made changes. But that is not required by UPSM, UPHRH or some other adopter of Sunbird. If I merge it in Sunbird, it will affect everyone. So you have to create your own. Okay.
So even if
Not only cards, we have in common consumption, we have TOCs, the logos that we have, that is profile logos and all those things. All those things can be independently tested. I don't know whether the demo project has all those available.
we have profile card and a course card and curriculum card. So these are all, so we can add a version, as I said, once again. We can use like one card itself, SB library card. We can use the component name and we can give layout versions also. Otherwise, if you want particular component itself, then we can use that component itself. Like when we go to other component, V2 card component, then we can see that component name, SB library card V2. So if we want, here we need not to send any layout configuration. We are just loading directly that component itself, then we will get that layout only. So if you want to have a generic, then if you want to pass a configuration and we need to load, then we will load the main component where the SB library card is there. In that component, all other version components are injected. So based on a version layout configuration, so once we add a SB library card, it will come here. So without any versions, it will load the card with doesn't have any layout configuration. It will load the card library card 1. If we are having the versions, then it will go to the specific versions. V3 card, it will load V3 component. V4 card, it will load V4 component. I have created new card and I have injected here. If we change the version, then it will come. If I have not added here, then I need to use specific V5 card component in my client and need to work.
I do have a question here. Okay, so he has created a different card. So,
1 minute. Just for the recordings. Yeah. Thank you.
okay, so he has created a different card. He do have on CSS of it. So does this, libraries dependent on some other library like SB themes or
SB styles.
Styles, it will be
Styles
dependent.
is the one which for the CSS it will be using it.
yeah.
So
So,
you can
in that
see-
case, we have to take it that as well on our
If you
local.
want to change anything, yes, you have to take
if
it.
we
If
have
you
to change
don't want to
anything,
change
if I
it,
want to add some CSS,
you have to change it in the SB
Right.
styles.
So you can see our UPHRH is somewhat different, but it is a classic theme only. Somewhat color changes, everything is different.
Yeah.
So this I have made it in SB themes. We have
First,
taken the separate
take
class
that
and
also,
theme we
yeah.
have added. There we add CSS. Whatever the generic CSS are there for the cards, we will put it in the common consumption. Extra any changes we need, that we will add it from styles and themes CSS.
So we
SB
need to
themes is
take
there,
all
SB
the
styles
dependent libraries also. Here, if we want to
For
change
this
something,
dependent only styles.
it's only styles.
Yeah.
But for certain other libraries, we might have some, few more than 2 or 3 libraries which are dependent on some other library. No, it's not happening.
It's like it never be a cyclic reference.
What is your question? Can I proceed?
Yeah,
No, what she is asking is, no, I'll just repeat if I understood it properly. If a package has 5 different dependencies, all 5 are Sunbirds only,
Yeah.
do we have to change in all the 5s? Now the question is, Sunbird will never have that dependency of one into other than the styles. Styles becomes common, it will be added in common consumption also. But the thing is, even the same styles is used in client also. Okay. Now the thing is, other than this, there will be never ever a cyclic reference that okay, package A needs package B, needs package C also. That will never happen. We
just the
preferably
themes.
don't do that.
Just the themes we need to
Only
get.
the CSS, because of
Only
the
the
UI.
CSS.
UI we need to keep a generic
Yeah,
CSS
of
for the
course.
theme, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why we are including the CSS here. Apart from that, nothing.
Like whatever you have added like extra CSS for your use, so this is a part of component V5 component which you created, like card V5 card.
V5 card we have created. So for that,
If we, like you are adding this red color bottom
this
border,
is
so-
different component. Not this is not in under common consumption.
Yeah, but for that, like you have created your own card. So this like extra CSS where you added like in
The themes, yeah.
SB themes for individual. We have a portal themes, right? Classic and joyful theme is there. So
no, just please open this code. Code is there, no? Huh. So
this V5 card is there, right?
V5, yeah.
So this one.
Go to HTML there. HTML. That's what you want.
So this classes and all same as V1 card. Okay, I have taken replica of V1 card and I have modified same CSS only. Wherever I need a color changes, I have
So you-
changed it.
So you are adding in this component.
Yes, in the component, what I am doing, the variables. For the variables, I have given color codes. That variables are loading from styles. Okay, that styles for my when I have created one theme. For that theme, I have given for these variables different color. What somebody is given, I have not given that color. I have given different colors. So that colors I am loading here and formed with that.
Okay. So like mainly we need to whatever we are changing, that is change for your component.
Yes.
Like a override kind of thing. Override.
Any other questions?
Anything on common means this is one of the libraries. So we covered 3 libraries. There are n number of, we cannot cover everything. So we are covering these 3. Okay. So one of the adopter also has shown us how they have changed it also, and they have not contributed back. I just want to be very clear. They have not contributed it back, and I have not seen the PRs. So
see,
once they send the PRs, maybe I will talk on that. Right now I will not be. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's it from.
Any more questions?
Yeah, so this is only for card logo. If we want to change like look and feel, like a background color. So
That is themes.
That is themes.
SB themes.
SB themes.
It's not in common consumption. It is SB themes.
It's for CSS only, styles only we are using. If the theme means theme comes under portal. So there in the themes, there will be having same unique for this theme, whatever the classes are there, this theme also will be there. For that, if you create like this is, we keep it as a blue classic theme, and this is as a joy. Theme names, the file names are joy. Okay, once you put another name as a standard, then standard theme will load. So that theme, the same classes will be there for these color changes or layout changes. I mean the CSS things, whatever you want, shifting and all, that and all you can do it.
okay, so now we are using only 2 themes like classic and
Joy.
I have also, for UPHRH also, I took base theme as a classic only. I have remodified it. That's it with the themes classes.
Okay, so for that, like for theme where you added this like changes for
In
your-
SB themes.
In SB themes.
In SB themes, I have created new
His own fork, not into Sunbird fork.
Sunbird Pop. I have
It is in
created
UPHRH fork. Yeah.
So there are 2 cards, right, in current Diksha, classic and joyful, right?
no cards, not layout. That
Layout is there, card layout is there.
No.
Wait.
Okay, don't get confused.
layout.
I'm seeing so many
Cards are, we have 4 cards. V4 cards.
Okay, the portal has a layout. The layout names is classic and joyful. That name is giving us a configuration to
For
this
the card.
card. Based on the configuration, this card is behaving which card to show. Like whether V1, V2 to show, there is a one. Of course, you can use individually,
Yes.
or you can use one as a V card. Based on the configuration, this V card will show V1, V2 or V3.
Okay.
That's what he showcased the
Okay,
code.
okay. So my question is.
There is only one V card, which is rendered all 3. Based on the configuration, it shows whichever the card need to show.
Yeah. Where is the configuration stored? Like classic is in the
configuration,
themes?
when you import this library, when you add this component, right?
Yes.
I am adding this V component.
Right.
So wherever I need, just I have imported the module, CCL module I have imported in module.ts. After that, wherever I need in a component, I will just use this card, and in the, there is a input parameter we need to pass to the child component
Yes.
as a layout configuration. In that I will mention which version. That's what I showed here.
Your portal
Yes.
is telling the configuration which
There is a configuration service called as layout configuration service in the portal code base if you want to check it. It is called as
See here.
layout configuration service.
Here I am sending layout as a layout config as an object. In that key is layout and v4 version. Okay.
Okay, okay.
This version I am sending once I add that component in my HTML. SB library card I have added the component. So here I am sending layout config, the configuration object. This object I will send there. We have added a condition for v4 layout config dot layout. If it is a v4, then load v4 card.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this layout for card.
This is not the complete layout, okay?
Not complete layout.
Here we can see how many cards we have. Like okay, so for theme purpose, we can see joyful classic. Like classic, it is coming like a side and container, and in classic it is coming header like top. So we can see like this theme if in like how many type of theme we have.
Right
So
now we
can
have
search.
only two. You can customize it. It is again dependent on the
So
adapter.
you can see this UPHRH, it is mix up of joyful as well as classic. So in the classic the frameworks are coming here. In the joyful the framework will come the left side. Okay. So I have taken this one as a right side.
Mix matched.
I have taken the joyful and the classic themes, and I have layout configured for this component how the layout should be. Grids, we have made a grids based on a layout change, the grids will change. If it is classic, when you see here in the Sunbird, this is a joyful theme, the layout configuration is new layout there. You can see here.
Right click and no, in there only you can say right. No. Go to explore. Go to explore.
Here, based on a new layout,
No, go to explore. Right click and show that in the HTML itself. It will be faster. Right click, inspect. Yeah. कहाँ पे?
Okay, so
it's not loading.
It loaded. Go to elements. Yeah, go to elements. नहीं.
Elements only.
styling.
It need to load.
Yeah, okay. That's just one class. It's
So here
added.
you can see that. Okay, go up top.
One
top.
second.
Go to
See
the
here, this
नहीं रे. No, not here. Go to the top.
for the layout, right?
Layout, if you see, this is joy. When you change it, it will make it as default actually.
see layout is a portal ka capability. There is no layout concept in
The card.
In the card. Because each portal, because today Sunbird portal having two layouts, which is classic and joyful. You see, they may not having any layout change switch option maybe. They have a default.
Default one layout.
They don't have a switch option. They removed these two layout concepts. They use some theme. They define their own theme. They put that as the default for entire application. There is no switch option. But what does that layout mean? How this card should behave? That's what logic they written. Okay, if I have a new theme in the V card, how can I pass that configuration? What card need to show? They written the new card for that layout, and that layout name comes. Show me always V4 or V5 order card. He has done that changes, so V5 to show him for that. Each application can define what layout they want in the theme. Now whether a CC component handles or not, again the code change required. Because CC component doesn't know what is your new layout name. If you want CC component to handle it, you have to make sure in the common card, which is handling the configuration as the input, there you make all those changes so that CC components also will reflect properly what are the configuration that you are passing. Otherwise, you have to remove this V card here. You put exactly what card you wanted. The code change in the portal side. That's a code change, Angular code change in the portal side. I will not use a common card. I will use my new card, what I have written, that card to render here in the portal side.
Okay. So we have one more question. If there are multiple adapters, I have the mic. Not So if there are multiple adopters, okay, and everyone is working on V5 card only, because they saw ours is V4, what will happen to V5? Whoever comes back with the first PR will be taking higher precedence, because we don't know. Exactly. There are around 5 who are working on the same thing, and they are giving it as V5 only. What we will do is, whichever PR comes first, we will make that as V5. Next PR which comes as V5 only, we will inform them. We already have a V5. You have to take a new release. If they come up with the plan in our release cycle itself, we will inform them. You guys are doing the same thing. Change it up.
It's a merge clash.
Yeah. So change it up. If they don't do it, if they complete in one release, we will take V5 in let's say 6.0. In 6.1, if they want one more guy want to update it, we will say 6.0 already has V5. Take an update, change it to V6, and contribute it back. You got your answer.
Yeah, I had my answer.
Yeah.
First thing I want in my mind was
Okay. Sure.
Anything else?
Any other questions?
Anything? Yeah. Go ahead.
Like this is kind of a general question. Like let's say there is some change we are doing in this common consumption, like any other Sunbird library, and that is totally like our adopter specific. And what if even if we want to contribute back to Sunbird and Sunbird doesn't want it, like it doesn't want it. So in that case, what happens to that?
No. Why Sunbird will not want it? If it is, let's say
New card, if you create, then
No, not
He's saying that is a adapter specific.
totally adopter
totally
specific.
adopter specific.
To go back to Sunbird at all.
No. He's saying he wants to contribute it back, and we don't want to take it up.
see,
Correct,
I
right?
have created my UPSMF card, and I have not given back. But that card is needed for someone else. That is specific to UPSMF I have created.
Right.
If I contributed that back, then everyone can use it as a new version, a new card.
Like, but that thing which is adopter specific might not be relevant for Sunbird in that case.
But if he has created a new one, why not take it?
If
What is
someone
the
needed,
problem if I
not
take
about
it?
this library card. Any repository, any Sunbird.
Anything which is new, let's assume.
if you are not modified the existing one, if you are not
And it is
modified,
generic enough. Let's assume there is a catch. Okay, you cannot write your code in a way that only you will understand. If it is generic enough and it is specific to your use case also, but let's assume tomorrow one more guy wants to do the same thing. Does he want to reinvent the wheel? You have already done it and you have contributed it back to the open source. Now it depends on the open source to take it. If it adheres to their coding standards and all these standards that we have, of course we will take it.
One second, before we proceed, okay, just to answer the same thing. You can see here CK editor file. This is external library.
Please, yeah, I think. Take a mic.
it's here.
Okay, you can see this CK editor file, right? CK editor file is actually NPM library. We forked that library. We made some change. Okay, because we had some specific requirement in the Sunbird. On the top of video, we had to add a translations, which is not present in the CK editor by default. CK editor gives the capability of adding a video. That's it. You can't do anything else. What we did is, we forked the CK editor code. We made a code changes to add a translations on the top of video again. Okay. So now this code is sitting in our repository. We are not contributed back to CK editor at all. What's the problem with this now? What are the CK editor features coming in? We can't upgrade.
We cannot upgrade.
We are blocked. Okay, if you want to upgrade, make sure our code changes also work properly when you upgrade it.
Yeah, we have to merge it and
You
then
guys-
see whether the conflict is there, then conflict resolve it. Every time we have to do it. Every time they
The
upgrade
better
it.
option is always contribute with this, if they accept, well and good. Because if they accept, we can use a main repository. If they don't accept, we don't have any other choice. We have to go with this thing. But we can't upgrade at all. When we upgrade, you have to make sure this feature also works in the upgrade. They upgrade should not break our feature changes. You have to make sure the code changes again doing on the top of that. You'll be struggling a lot if you have the forks. It's not easy to upgrade also.
Which we do right now. So
Okay, that's how you'll blocked. You'll be in the block state where You can't upgrade, you can't do anything. Okay, your application works on the only that. You can't get any new features, even if they implement it. Okay, that's the problems with the forks. We are not saying don't go with the force. Okay, if you go with the force, you're blocked. Because it works only that project, that time. After that, you can't do anything else. And there's more time required to upgrade. It will kill a lot of time to upgrade because of upgradation, lot of problems. Again, you have to rework all the code to make it work that upgrade again. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Any other questions on any of that plugins that we explained from morning?
So these are all front-end libraries. What we covered at least 3 different libraries.
There are
many libraries.
There are a lot. Okay.
SB Forms also one of the library. Okay. We have editors. 3 different editors. 4 different players.
Editors will come back.
Anyhow will come. Okay.
Maybe in the afternoon.
No, we will not do the code changes.
No, we will not do code walkthrough and all. So because editor is a knowledge specific thing. I'll just explain how it is used.
So if we want to create our own card, our own design, and we don't want to share with anyone, don't
Why?
want to contribute,
Why?
because this is our style. Like
You will end up with the same problem. Just now explain the problems.
I have explained the same thing.
Like
You should not think like you want to be in that problem.
but
You are making yourself okay. I will get into that problem.
product design is sometime it is unique. They don't want to.
Okay, it
share.
is not open source then. You have to think of if
You
you
have to
want open
convince
source,
saying that if I go with that approach,
either you think of
I
open
can't
source
upgrade.
or you don't think of open source. That is a product based thinking. Whatever you are saying is a product based thinking. I will never open my code to anyone else.
okay.
I will keep it as a secret. That is what is the product based thinking. But open source thinks that this is not only for me, for the community.
Diksha is a product.
Diksha is a product. Now the thing is, do some changes, you don't have to contribute it back. But the thing
suggestion.
is, if you want to upgrade, as a somebody has done some better changes or vulnerabilities has been fixed, Node has been upgraded, Angular has been upgraded. Now the task is in your team. Okay, whenever you take the upgrade, whatever code changes you have done, add it to it, see there is no conflict, then push it into your this thing. You don't have to contribute it back. Correct.
Okay.
But there is a little bit extra effort that you guys have to do it. Exactly. Yes.
The problem, if you want to do that approach, the only solution is use a base, whatever the fork is your base, so that this base can be upgraded every time. You have a wrapper on the top of that what you written, which is your project specific or adapter specific code. You are not making a change in the fork itself. You are making a change in your wrapper, which is internally using the base, which is the actual fork one. The fork one can be upgraded very frequently, but your wrapper will not impact at all. Okay, the wrapper is still work. You have to make sure the wrapper works when the base being upgraded. If you go with this approach, your project specific things can be achieved in the wrapper. The base also can be upgraded very easily when there is upgrade. It will not affect your project. If you work only on the fork, gone. You guys will end up with upgradation problems and all. Okay, this is the only approach if you want to achieve the custom specific things.
We're clear with that? Yeah. You can still do it. There is no hard and bound rule that you have to contribute it back. You can still keep it, but you will have to bear that extra effort every time we upgrade. You cannot ask us to, okay, I have done some changes, you have to support us. Not possible. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Also, what we have to do, even if we raise a PR also, and you sometimes maybe twice a month, maybe a couple of months after, you approve that thing with your changes also. You create your own changes, and those changes we don't want.
No, those changes, see the thing is, whatever Sunbird does, it's an open source. It is thinking of the community. You cannot say that, okay, I don't want this particular feature. Feature-wise, whatever we will, no. Feature-wise, whatever we will write, we will have a configuration saying that if you don't need this feature, switch it off. You have to do that extra configuration. I don't want this feature.
But it happened actually in the resource library.
There are so many features which are built in a way that Diksha wants it, UPSMF don't want it. Like let's assume certificates, or just an example I am saying, a certificate, I don't want it. As an adopter, I have taken Sunbird, I don't want certificate, I just want to complete a course and be happy with it. Okay, fine. I don't want course certificate for a batch. I disable it. You can still live happily. Batch works properly. No, it's just a configuration. It's just a configuration.
Updated configuration do have our changes also.
Configuration. No. Configuration.
Not the configuration.
There is nothing code level, right? You are passing an extra configuration to disable this particular code, which is not required for you.
So I have a question. I understood what you said. Now, do you have really a product team which decides like what are the features? For example, at the end of the day, you build product. You are saying we are building product for functionality
Community,
for masses, community.
yeah.
Correct. Now, what is the feedback mechanism? Because one of the key feedback mechanism is where it is widely used. Correct. For example, Diksha they are using. So when you say you add certain feature or build on top of that, so how you decide what it should go?
I am not the correct person to answer this question. I am a tech architect working for Sunbird, but I will not be able to answer this question. Who decides it? I think you should ask Madhu this particular question, redirect it to him so that he can answer this.
Just to answer that, okay, like even our features, whatever we are building as part of Sunbird, we are always putting as RFC. Okay, RFC in the discussion forum and making sure all the community people knows there's a new feature that we are building it. So that it's not only we, community also can start participating in that.
Community can say, okay,
We
don't
always
build
think-
this. We have already built it. We will contribute it back.
Yeah. So the reason of that thing is even the new features, if somebody wants it as part of Sunbird, they are also putting as RFC. We didn't thought of that feature at all as a Sunbird core team. Some other adapter feeling that, okay, if that is a part of the core, it will benefit. They are putting as a RFC. We will review that. If it really good, we will also contribute, help them also to getting into closure. Okay, it's not like only they have to work. Okay, so that's how because the product will get better and better.
I can give you an example also. I think chatbot, UCI, right?
Yeah, so
UCI was
RFCs,
built
okay.
on that.
This is what the
actually.
list of RFCs what we are seeing. Okay, in the at the discussion forum. Okay, that discussions happens on this RFC. Why is generalized? Is only specific to your project need? The discussions happened. If it is generalized, that anybody can use it, then we will accept that as is the right feature to build as part of Sunbird. Then we will also involve getting into that closures. If it is only specific to project, okay, then we'll say this feature cannot be taken into Sunbird. Just specific to project, ignore. This is what the RFCs coming into Sunbird Ed.
To answer that question, UCI was one of the thing which Samagra, I think, Madhu told Samagra, right? Yeah, Samagra team has built it. It is actually one of the changes which Sunbird was not, our team did not build it. Means we did not build it, but somebody contributed it back to us. Like that, if something is useful for the whole community, they can put it as an RFC. If it is got approved, contribute it, or we will also help to make sure that it comes in.
That's why Diksha specific chatbot thing and all came into one of the building block alter is that, because we felt that feature is a very useful for most of the adapters who is using Sunbird.
You had one more question.
We do have separate governing body which decides.
Which decides that. Okay, the first is a RFC first. Okay, explaining about what is that feature, what are you envisioning. Okay, then we'll also review it. Then we'll have a one-on-one discussions on that. Okay, what is to understand the feature better. Okay, what is the use case and all. Okay, and then making. Also, we help them also to think generic. Okay, even if it is specific to project, we'll also try to make it more generic so that the project-specific things can be taken out from there.
Yeah. Mic over there. Hey, what time we are breaking?
We'll end up with Q&A.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just one small thing. Like, will you be covering SB forms and SB content plugins?
SB form is tomorrow.
Okay, SB forms is tomorrow.
Yeah, I think SB forms was the. No, SB forms was tomorrow.
Form service we are covering, not SB forms, because
Okay, SB forms is different. Yeah, correct.
The concept is still the same. Okay. All the libraries concept is still the same.
Okay.
Because forms, we don't, because pretty much is evolved, what other things is required.
Okay.
Okay,
If
SB
you
forms.
see some specific things are not able to see, like how can you integrate it?
Okay.
We can have one discussion.
Okay, sure.
What is
Form
the physics
services
change
we
required?
are covering tomorrow. I'm extremely sorry. SB forms and forms.
SB forms we are not, because
okay.
secondary libraries we are done today. With this, 3 libraries we have already covered. Common consumption, and client services, and cloud services. The 3 libraries are with common consumption. 3 libraries what we covered.
Okay.
There are many more. Okay. We are covering few more in the as a dependent building blocks. Okay. Which not Ed is owning up. Other building blocks is
owning it up and we are using it, consuming it. Okay.
Like content plugins.
I'll explain it in the afternoon.
Content
Post,
plugins. you are
lunch session.
using.
Content players and all.
Content players and
Content plugins.
creators.
Content.
Editors.
Okay.
Editors and players, especially. Discussion forum is one of the things what we are.
Yeah, groups is one of the things that we have. Yeah, anything else? So can we break for lunch?
Thank you.
So okay, we'll thanks Bharath. Nice. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bharath.